Welcome back to Make Your Life Healthy. We're going to be talking about arthritis and osteoarthritis in particular. It's really a chronic pain disease, and if you've had arthritis or you know somebody who had, the old saying is, how are you doing today? Well, I'm okay if Arthur would just leave me alone. Well, arthritis affects 20 million Americans, just the osteoarthritis type. There's 3 different types of arthritis, and it's rheumatoid arthritis, which is the debilitating kind that really messes up your joints and they get big knots on them. And then there's osteoarthritis, which is the most common, and then gout is included in that arthritis area as well. So depending on what kind you have, or if you have it at all, nobody really knows why we get osteoarthritis, but we know that it does run in families. We also know that being overweight increases your risk for having it. And we also know that continual use of your joints in a trauma kind of situation, and I always think back to like jogging because that's definitely putting some trauma on your joints, can also cause osteoarthritis. There's really no cure for it. It's caused by the inflammation, and what actually happens to your joints is that your cartilage between your bones starts wearing away. And when it does, your bones start rubbing together. Sometimes you get bone spurs and you get those really sharp pains in there. Sometimes you feel the grinding in your knees or in your shoulders and you say, oh my gosh, feel this. You can hear it in your mind, or you can hear it whether somebody else can or not. And then you have this inability to take big steps without it hurting, or to reach up over your head without it hurting, and you just have a lot of pain that goes along with it. It feels like a deep kind of pain in your bones, and that's really what it is. So arthritis and osteoarthritis is really a chronic disease that's going to affect a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it might be in your little fingers, it can be in your ankles, it can really be in any joint in your body, from your spine all the way to your neck to your toes. So osteoarthritis is just a chronic agony that we all have, that you have that disease. So we need to look at the ways you can help with it. First of all, sometimes you can add topical treatments to it, and these would be things that would be an anti-inflammatory, things that you can rub on, heat things, any kind of the creams that you can get that have aspirin in them, Aspirin or any of those kind of things sometimes help if you only have osteoarthritis that's just starting and it's really not that bad. You can take medicine for it, and there's a lot of medicines, and you've probably heard all kinds of different pros and cons about them. They're called the NSAIDs, and those are things like naproxen and Celebrex, and although they help with your arthritis, they also have a lot of side effects to them. They have been known to cause strokes, heart attacks, stomach disorders, bleeding, ulcers, just a number of different things. So they're something that will help with the pain, but really not the answer, and not something that you want to stay on long term. So there are other things you can do. There's surgery, and of course you can get your those kind of arthroscopic surgeries where they just tighten up the ligaments, they clean out the joints. If you've got some tears in there that are caused because of your bones rubbing together, they can take care of that and get rid of the little bone spurs. So that will alleviate some of the pain. Or you can have a joint replacement, knee replacements. You can have your shoulders operated on. They're just about replacing anything in your body now that needs to be replacing. So that's one of the things that you can do in order to keep your body from getting osteoarthritis. Excuse me. That's going to have to be cut out. So there's really nothing that you can do for arthritis long term that's going to take it away, but some of the things that affect it a lot are being overweight. So if you lose weight, you take some of the wear and tear off of your joints and some of the trauma off of your joints. So that's one of the things that you can do. You can also be more active, and it kind of goes against it because you think, well, when I'm active is when it hurts. But if you continue to be active doing exercises, swimming is particularly good for osteoarthritis and for arthritis of any kind because of the coolness of the water, and it kind of helps on the anti-inflammatory side, and it really does help your body on swimming. You can also eat the right things. Having a balanced diet, eating the right kind of antioxidants that we talked about before, eating the foods that are good for you, staying away from the junk foods, alleviates a lot of the swelling and the pain that you have from osteoarthritis. There's really no blood test that tells if you have it. There's not a real conclusive test that they can say that, yes, you definitely have this. You will know in your body when you go to the doctor and talk to him about the symptoms you're having. He'll be able to tell you that that's probably what you have is osteoarthritis. A lot of children are getting arthritis now, and again, that relates back to the fact that they're not eating healthy, they're overweight as children, and then that continues with them. We're seeing that more and more in kids of all ages. But really, no one is immune from getting osteoarthritis at any age. More women have it than men do, and more women over the age of 55 get it than men do. So part of it is an aging process, but women tend to have it more than men do. So maybe it's because women sometimes tend to be more overweight than men are, and they abuse their bodies a lot by getting down on the floor and playing with their kids or whatever it happens to be, but their joints take a lot more trauma. So there's nothing you can really do for it. But osteoarthritis is just a chronic pain. Go to the doctor if you get to the point where you can't deal with the pain of it. You can take, again, topical things that you can add to it. You can take over-the-counter things like aspirin and any anti-inflammatory drug. But to really alleviate it, there's really nothing that you're going to be able to do to get rid of it long term. So what we want to do is to make our life healthy by eating correctly to begin with and trying not to get the osteoarthritis long term. Don't put a lot of wear and tear on your joints. Don't do the things that are going to cause it, that are going to cause the pain. And then hopefully you'll be able to make your life healthy by avoiding having osteoarthritis. But if it's not something that you can control, just try to do the things that are going to make you more healthy with the eating and diet and exercise, and it will alleviate some of the pain. And long term, this is one way that you can make your life healthy. Coming up next, stroke.